It was adrenaline. I was high on adrenaline in my 20s. Hi, my name is Mariana and I am coming to you from my cat-infested living room to talk to you about some of my fail tales, which is a tag created by the North Switch. And I thought it is a great conversation to have in general, not only about things we're not good at, but also things we just effed up, because I've effed up a lot in my life. I wanted to start this tag by showing you my cat. This is not a fail. This is one of my huge wins in my life. This is Saga. She is a rescue from a park along with her brother and two other sisters. And she is very loving. She is just the sweetest and also most pushiest cat in the world. And she will be a part of this video. So I wanted to divide this video into two parts, which is the failures and the things I'm not good at. I will start with things I'm not good at because I think being honest with each other and just telling ourselves the reality is important. And we hear a lot of people on the internet and on social media talking about stuff that they succeed in and what they're good at, and it can create a feeling of not being good enough or being a failure. In my 20s, I would be in a community of people where talking to spirits and spirit work was a very big deal. And I would hear a lot of people describing their relationship or their communication with spirits as talking. And I would feel very inadequate because I have talked with the spirit once in my life, and that was in like a trance slash like half sleep state, and it was not but on purpose. It just happened. I would hear a lot of people talking about like talking to spirits and communicating with spirits, and this spirit said this and that spirit said that. And I would feel inadequate because I have never like on purpose talked to a spirit in like the definition of talking, which is like saying words and hearing words, especially. I have never heard a spirit talk to me. I would have communications with spirits, like looking back and even then in real time, through divination, through tarot, through oracle cards, through visions and feelings, and even like tactile, like bodily sensations. And I could like make sense of them, but I always was a little bit of envious of people who could, in their own description, speak to the spirits and hear like actual sentences. What I was always never good at is what I was also never good at, and it's something that I would actually like to change, is consistency with my practice. I was never able to develop a daily practice, a daily regular spiritual witchy routine that I could like keep up with and actually like do on a regular basis. And I see some of my mutuals on social media, and they have a regularity to their practice, and it's something that I would like to do, but I'm completely not able to do. My practice is in sinusoid waves. I do and then I have to take a break, and then I do and then I have to take a break. And in between of these waves, it sometimes even changes a little bit or evolves. And I have never been able to just create a routine as it is. Oh, this is Odin. Nowadays, I don't think anymore that I would like to change that. Sometimes I regret a little bit that I was never able to do it, but I'm happy with as it is right now. And it just is how it is. My practice comes and goes in waves. Sometimes I do something every day, sometimes I take a break for a week or a year. It just happens. Life is life. I'm learning to be fluid, and I think that's also kind of beautiful. Another thing that I was never good at is creating or following like elaborate rituals and elaborate, not spells, it's rituals. It's the lesser ritual of the pentagram stuff, the drawing spirits into crystal stuff. I've attempted, but I think those rituals need a lot of practice as well and a lot of self confidence to enact, even like in the privacy of your home. And once it needs a lot of steps and a lot of chanting and a lot of like ritualism, then it's not that much for me anymore. I used to be very much into Enochian magic and a lot of these, again, elaborate things. But in the end, it is not a practice that I can keep up with on the regular, on like long term. I would like dive into it and do really a lot and engrave and create the tools and then practice. But then I would get so burnt out and so overwhelmed that I would be like, I need a break. And then I would never return to it. Yeah. So inconsistency is perhaps my biggest failure in a lot of things. But I find that keeping it like simple, keeping it close to the heart, and keeping it like really flowing and natural helps me create a practice and helps me create a way of life more that is consistent, that is sustainable. That's the word I mean to use. Sustainable for me. I need small steps in natural flow and regularity that just come up, that just seem like, hey, this is a natural part of life. On the failure side of things and on the, hey, I've done this and I really fucked up, I wanted to highlight a bad habit from my 20s. I'm 35 years old, coming on to 36, so this is like a decade and more old hubris that I have been part of. I was very like poo 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 when I was like in my 20s, like, no consequences, no tomorrow. We used to practice a lot, like not being drunk, but like alcohol was a lot of like a big part of our practice. And with alcohol comes lower inhibitions and lower awareness of consequence, and we would like practice and communicate with spirits and do a lot of divination, but we would lack protections, and we would lack cleansing before and after. And we used to do it in my apartment because like I was living alone, and everybody would come up to my apartment, and we would like do our like seances and like rituals and all like the covenant witchy stuff. And we would not cleanse before, we would not cleanse after, and then I would like remain in my apartment, and stuff would move around, not like, moving furniture, but you could like in a way sense the excess of energy, that I would like open a drawer like this, but instead of opening the drawer like this, the drawer would like fly out behind me, because like there was so much kinetic and like energy in the apartment that stuff would just break by using normal force, because like I don't know how to explain it, but it was wild, and I used to suffer a lot of sleep paralysis and a lot of like night visitations as well. And I found it fun. And when I was in my 20s, I found it fun. It was amazing. Like even the sleep paralysis part was a spiritual experience for me, and I would be afraid, of course, but I would in my sleep paralyzed state, I would like either pray or create the protections on the spot in like my state where I couldn't move, and I was on my bed, and I would be seeing like entities in my apartment. And it was adrenaline. I was high on adrenaline in my 20s in regards to like witchcraft and spirituality. And Now that I'm older, I again, as I titled my previous video, chasing nostalgia of like how witchcraft felt there, and then, but also, I'm older now, and not that I'm afraid, but I'm more cautious, and these things don't happen to me anymore because I am aware of possible consequences, and I have seen what happens to people when they practice without protection. And even though I'm nostalgic for the power and the excitement and like the fast paced having like actual experiences of like everything right next to each other, I'm also so cautious now that this stuff just doesn't happen, and you don't get, or I don't get that many experiences like this with benevolent entities, because like why would something that is benevolent, or like I don't know how to voice it, but basically a friendly spirit, why would they torment you and you know give you such like vivid experiences just for the sake of it? They usually don't, and I wouldn't ask for them just to titillate my adrenal glands. So yeah, that's one of my failures. So this is one of my stories that I want to share for today. I may add some more when I think about them, but I think the cautionary tale for today is be protected, cleanse before and after, and do not be an adrenaline junkie when you're practicing magic or witchcraft or anything. Let me know what you thought about my fail tales video. Let me know if you've had any fails, if you had any experiences like this or different ones, if you have been careless in your 20s or teens or even now or any time. If you like this style of video, this is probably what I'm going to be producing for the foreseeable future. I hope you enjoy it. If you subscribe, then you can look forward to me just voicing my opinions in an unscripted way, because I can't be bothered. And if I did scripts and stuff, I would probably burn out very soon. So I will usually just sit down once a week, talk to the camera, and then just cut up the us, likes, and just make it more presentable. But otherwise, it will just be, hey, this is me. These here are my cats, and thank you for visiting me in my living room. Bye bye.